welcome back to the Dune Minute Podcast, your place to deep dive minute by minute into the cinematic adaptation of Frank Herbert's Dune. I'm one of your hosts, John. Whoops.
That is well, okay, so that
I'm correct.
technically is correct.
I was looking at you as I said it. I said your name. I'm one of your hosts, Zach.
And I'm John.
All right, John. Well, we made it. We made it through the week. We made it through some a drought of vocals.
Of dialogue?
Yep. We made it through a drought of dialogue. And we are about to step foot, or at least start to step foot on Arrakis.
Some people have their feet on Arrakis.
Yes.
Not Paul, not Leto, not Jessica, not Gurney.
Some people do, though.
Some people do.
Yep.
Specifically, we start this minute with a overhead shot of a massive crowd of people that are all being held back. Well, I wouldn't say necessarily held back.
Just kept at a safe distance from the landing.
Kept at a safe distance from the landing zone. This is our first time that we see Fremen not in a vision.
It's true.
The Fremen are...
They look tinier than I expected.
They're just like little ants.
It's little ants.
All over the place. The Fremen, just as a reminder, are all of the indigenous peoples to Arrakis. Their most distinct feature is the eyes of Abad, the blue within blue eyes, which are a side effect of just prolonged, constant exposure to spice.
Yes.
So we will learn more and see more and hear more from the Fremen later on, but that's just a reminder, catching everyone up. We haven't talked about them in a minute.
Yeah. We've been talking about other things, but you think the guards are keeping those the crowd back for their safety or for the safety of the Atreides, or both?
I would like to say both, but I know it's only for the safety of the Atreides.
Yeah, that's the more likely answer.
Yeah. We see the ships as they're approaching the ground, and as with all things in Dune, everything is fucking huge. We see a scale of the door for the ship, and it is 3 guard stations wide. And the guards are probably, like, just from looking at like their size compared to the distance between them as they're standing, probably a good like 10 to 15 feet apart from each other as well. Yeah. So yeah, these are big ass ships with big doors. And the ship is just getting ready to touch down on Arrakis.
So the ship that we see, kind of the camera follows, is we see landing gear come down.
Yep.
Which is not something that we saw with Duncan Idaho's ship when it was going into the ship garage. We didn't really see landing gear too much, did we? I thought we made a note to say we didn't see landing gear.
I'm thinking back on it, and
I thought it was just kind of hovering in the.
We see it come in, and then it just cuts to Duncan walking down the little ramp.
Yeah,
out of the ship, but I'm pretty sure there is landing gear of some sort, because clearly the ship is resting there while Landville and everyone else is inside, and Duncan's Star Trekking the panels on the wings of the ship. So,
all right. Well, I could be wrong there. I thought we had remarked on how there wasn't landing gear on these ships.
I don't know. Honestly, like maybe we recorded those episodes.
It was a long time ago.
A few weeks. Several weeks ago at this point.
So after this, we cut to a very, very dramatic portrait shot of Paul.
Yes.
Just artsy shot of him in the little gathering zone before they walk out.
It's very crowded in there too.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. But he's silhouetted, I guess is the right term. Almost looks like a black and white shot.
Yeah.
In the hangar. What is that? What is that part of the ship? The cargo hold?
Cargo hold, maybe an airlock. I don't know. Like it's kind of hard to tell. But yes, we do see Paul, and he's surrounded by, I guess, what I would call Atreides knights. I I don't know if they're officially knights or whatever. They're
Just
they're
guards.
soldiers.
Yeah.
They're guards. I want to talk about their armor for a second.
Yeah, I had a note here.
So their armor, to me,
I wonder if we referenced the same thing, because I referenced a video game.
oh, I did not.
Ah, damn. Okay.
I referenced a movie. Their armor to me is very. It's interesting because it's futuristic, but it's also very like old style knight. But it's not sleek. Like it looks very clunky. It's very like big plates.
Yep.
You know,
Also sharp angles, like their
sharp
ships.
angles. And to me, this my connection when I first saw it,
Mhm.
the armor of the Urukai.
Oh yeah.
It's very, very much like that, with sharp angles, plates over plates.
Yeah.
Very. It doesn't look very fluid in terms of
Sure.
being able to move in it. I'm sure it is, and later on in the movie we will see Atreides combat, but it looks very clunky.
Yeah, I said it looked very Halo.
Okay, yep. I can kind of see. Okay, so here's the thing, right? Like, it is reminiscent of some Mjolnir Mark V, but like,
okay.
The thing
about this is coming from someone who's never played Halo.
Yeah, okay,
I've only
sure.
seen pictures of it.
The thing about Mjolnir is that like you have the
what word are you saying right there?
Mjolnir.
What is that?
It's so Mjolnir is Thor's hammer.
Oh, okay.
But in Halo, Mjolnir is the project that is run by Dr. Catherine Halsey to create the armor that her Spartans.
3 hours later,
because the augmentations and everything is a big disaster.
Mhm.
I know that this is bothering you because
so I already know how I'm going to edit this.
What?
I already know how I'm going to edit this.
All right, well then never mind. The point is that I can see how you would get that reference.
Yeah.
But there's like
I just remember seeing a picture a couple of years ago of a Halo.
Yeah.
Like the game.
Yeah.
And I was like, that kind of reminds me of that. That was my only thought process.
All right.
That was my A to B right there.
Yeah. I have a picture of Urukai armor in my notes.
Yes.
It's pretty cool. I like their helmets. Honestly, like the helmets also kind of made me think of that a little bit too, because we see that these soldiers are wearing helmets, and not any particular soldier, but one of them who we would assume is their like direct commander tells them shields.
So this person's wearing a helmet or a hat, I believe.
Yeah, he's wearing a hat.
It's
very like Star Wars
Imperial hat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
kind of. Yeah. It's a small hat with like a
tiny little brim.
Yeah.
So I thought this was Landville.
I would have assumed that Landville had come over with Duncan, Idaho. Because Duncan had a small team in the.
Maybe he did. I don't know. Just the side profile and the quick glimpse that we get of this person reminded me of. I was like, that could be Landville.
Maybe
could be. So I have maybe Landville said shields.
Yeah.
And then we see the flickering blue of all the soldiers.
I love the sound of the shield activating.
Yeah, especially when you get a lot of them all at once. Yeah. So we get all the shields start to come on. We cut over to the hooded figure of Jessica, which is cool ass dress, by the way.
So this is the first time we see her in a veiled state.
Mm-hmm.
But she's not wearing the veil, like the black veil of the Bene Gesserit. She's in like an orangish, like a burnt orange yellow kind of veil.
Yeah.
Which I think is just cool, just in general. But like, she refuses to wear the black veil.
Yeah.
So I wonder if there's anything that we're missing.
What? No, I think it's already been firmly established that she kind of goes her own way.
Yeah.
She doesn't follow the Bene Gesserit rules. or not all of them anyways,
Sure.
all of the time. So yeah, she's doing this. I also think, we talked about the Missionaria Protectiva earlier. I think she is dressed in a way that is going to invoke some certain feelings
To
from
influence.
the Fremen as they walk out, which we'll see in a little bit, does end up happening. So yeah, I think there is a specific point to her dress.
She's also got this really cool, like, decorative jewelry thing going on between the veil and her actual face.
Yeah. I am not familiar with the term for that. I
just think it looks cool.
Yeah. I put in my notes, like, the dress looks, like an equal mix of like Middle Eastern and Indian influence.
Yep.
Which I love. Absolutely loved it. So we see Jessica take Leto's hand, and something that I noted here. Do you remember in the scene where Gurney Halleck and Paul are sparring?
Yes.
And Paul's on his back right at the very end, and Gurney reaches down, gives him a hand, offers him a hand, and helps him up.
Wrong way around. Paul's standing, Gurney's on his back.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
We see, even in that small hand grab there, which is not a forceful grab. It's just he grabs his hand.
Yeah.
We see the interaction of the shield, the two shields.
Yeah. So Paul, Leto, and Jessica do not have shields active.
It does. Yeah, it doesn't look like it.
Which is should be the other way around. They should be the ones with their shields on, and not. Yeah, no, I was gonna talk about that because like in the shields, and then you cut to the scene where everyone's turning the shields on. You do not see a shield turn on and activate for Paul.
Nope. And I was thinking, maybe we just didn't see it, but no, we get plenty of interaction, like these characters touching other characters or other characters touching them.
Yeah, the shield would still
shimmer,
respond.
Yeah. So they are shieldless at the moment, or at least that's what I believe. They are shieldless. Leto looks dope. I mean, his armor looked the most Halo-like to me.
Yeah, he's got like a little metal insignia thing going on, like near his collar and stuff. I would just assume that that's what it is. It's some kind of metal dress, like you know how you see people in the military, and instead of like having a whole chest full of medals, they have those little bars or whatever, and he just has one of those. We see him turn and look at Paul as well, and then we see someone flipping through a tiny book. There's only one giant nerd that we would expect to see flipping through a tiny book in this moment, and that is Gurney Halleck.
Oh yeah.
What a fucking nerd.
So I'm going to talk about another show here for a second.
Go for it.
There is another wonderful Dune podcast called the Gom Jabbar podcast.
Okay. Shout out to them.
I need to go back and listen to their breakdown of the first movie, because they did a really, really nice review of the first movie. In it, they talk about what this book actually is. Like I think they crowdsource it a little bit, and we find out. I don't know what it is. I haven't looked it up, but we find out I initially thought it was a copy of the in-universe Bible.
I thought it was like a poem book or something like that.
It I think that's what it turned out to be, but they were able to hunt down like the specific book that it is, and it's a real life book. It's not something made up for the Dune movie. It's an actual book that exists on Earth today.
Well, you can read
it's in German. The text in that book, I believe they said it was in like German.
Oh.
I don't know. I'll go listen to it over the weekend. And when we come back on Monday, I'll have an answer for it.
That's fucking cool though.
Yeah. I remember being just like blown away that they were able to like hunt down the actual text.
When I was watching, I noticed that it looked like there were like little bits and pieces of the book like scratched out or annotated or something like that as well.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know. I just love that it's a tiny book. Like it's like a couple it's like a couple fingers tall, and he's just like flipping through it.
I don't have any books that small, but I do have a travel set of the Lord of the Rings books that I take with me.
Nice.
And they're maybe 5 inches tall, something
Yeah.
like that. So real fun. Gurney looks up. Paul looks up. They get their safety squints on.
Yeah,
as the door starts to
the
open.
door starts to open, and the fucking sunlight just right into Paul's face, just bam.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he's getting a face full of the desert sun right there.
Yeah, my note for that couple seconds is their first taste of Arrakis is blinding. I said I guess that's sort of apropos to the overall theme of the desert.
Sure. Yeah, it's bright as shit.
Yeah.
Because the sun just reflects off of the sand too. And then we see the dust of the desert enter its way into the ship.
Yep.
Gurney looks up.
I think maybe my notes got out of order, but when you mentioned Paul or Leto looking back at Paul,
yeah,
I said his look is that of one that says like, "Here we go, my dude."
Yeah,
like fucking buckle up, get ready.
Here we go, my Dune.
I'm
the one with the bad jokes this time.
At the Dune minute.
Gurney begins to speak.
Yep.
My lungs taste the air of.
And that's it.
The end of the Dune minute.
He can feel it.
Yes.
Yeah, he's tasting something. Reading from the book, I guess.
He's just licking the pages of this book out.
Well, we when we talked about Gurney a long time ago, or a couple episodes ago.
It's more than a couple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a poet.
Yeah.
He is a very, very poetic person. So it makes sense that he's got some kind of, relevant story.
Mood is for cattle and lovemaking.
Yeah. No doubt that he's got some relevant story to the moment. So I cannot wait to find out what it is.
To me, it seems like he's starting to recite some kind of prayers or poem or something like that. So
yep.
But we won't know what he's tasting until next week, so you'll have to come back.
That's true.
Zach, what are you going to give this week in terms of Shai-Hulud?
Oh, man. Even though we had 2, almost 3 wordless minutes, I'm going to give this one a 6, man. This is a good set of minutes.
Go for a 6? All right.
Yeah, this is a good set of minutes.
I was going to say like a 5.5.
All right. Yeah.
Just because could some of the minutes have been a little faster? Sure. Does it give us like an idea of everything that's going on? Yes. But we get a very important minute.
Yeah, at the beginning.
Episode 2 of this week, talking about the true end game of the Bene Gesserit.
Yep. And
bringing forward the Kwisatz Haderach. Yeah.
And that's just so important to understand for the rest of this movie to make any kind of sense.
The rest of the whole series.
Yeah.
Until we get to God Emperor, but
we won't talk about those books.
Yeah.
But it's a really, really good set of minutes. So yeah, yes. I'd go 6. So
we are on Arrakis.
We're here. We made it.
It only took us 36 minutes or
35
minutes to get there, but we did it.
All right, cool. Well, that'll do it for this week.
That'll do it.
Nope.
That'll do it for this week. You can reach out to us if you have any comments or questions at Dune Minute on Twitter. You can email duneminute@gmail.com or at the Dune Minute on Instagram. We will be back on Monday to talk about what Gurney is tasting.
That's right. All right, cool. We'll see you then.
See you later.